Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Thesublimemua, also known as Kaylin, and today we have a fall makeup look for you all. So first I'm going to take this Laura Geller Spackle Mist. It's like a priming spray, it has like coconut water. So it's like super moisturizing. I'm just going to pat that in my skin. I did make this video go a little bit faster because I didn't want it to be super long, but bear with me. So next, I'm taking my Ambrosio. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. But it's a moisturizer for all skin types. I have like combination skin. So I like this moisturizer because it doesn't make me too oily. So I'm going to just work this into my skin and up under my eyes because you want your eyes to be moisturized as well. Yes, rub it in. And then I'm taking my Dr. Bradett Luminizing Primer so I can have somewhat of a glowy look. And in the same spots as I put everything else, I'm just going to rub this product in, make sure it's worked in my skin. I did put a lot kind of, but it's okay. I'll just make sure I rub it all in. Yep. And I know you guys see my Bantu knots. I ended up taking them out and it came out really cute, but yes. So next we're going to get into the eyebrows. We're prepping the eyebrows with my Pear soap. And this is just kind of like a soap brow dupe. So I just spray it with the setting spray to get the soap wet and use my spoolie to get some of the product to put on my brush. And this allows my brows to lay flat, and it allows the hairs to stay in place. So that's applying the amount to the spoolie. You don't need a lot. You can just roll it around one time and everything should be good. So I'm just rolling the product into my brows. On both sides. And you should try to trim and shape your brows before you do your makeup, just so that you can get a really nice clean brow. Whether you like a natural brow or more like chiseled, defined brow, it's always good to trim and tame those brows beforehand. So I'm fluffing out the front because I like the front of my brow to be feathered, and then all the other hairs in the middle and the end to be together. And wiping off any other soap so it doesn't mess up anything. And you see I'm taking that flat part to push the hairs down so they lay flat, so they won't be sticking up. And it may look like I'm wiping it off, but it's not really coming off. It's just like really making them stick to my skin. So and this part does take some time, so I just keep going back over it till I achieve the look that I want. And they're laid flat. So as you can see in this video, I'm going to keep doing it a few times. I like to press it in to make it stick because it's starting to dry down, and that's what you want. You don't want it to be like super wet because then the brows won't stick to the skin, or they won't stay in the shape that you want them to be. And you never really have to add more product onto that brush. So once you add a little bit on, you should be good to go. And I also switched up my makeup routine. Like I used to do my brows first, but now I like to start with my skin. I just prep my brows first, but I like to start with my skin. And then I lied. I like to start with my eyes. then I do my skin, then I do my eyebrows. It just can't come out easier that way for me, because if I do my skin before my eyes, sometimes the fallout gets on my skin, and that's so annoying, as you guys know. But I felt it easier to just do eyes, face, eyebrows. So now I'm going in with some basic lip conditioner from MAC. It's just like a moisturizer. And a little bit of this Mary Kay mattifying primer to help with my pores. My pores are kind of big on my face, so I like to use that to help conceal those once I put my makeup on. And I'm just really focusing on my cheek area because that's the area that my pores are really, really big. Popping. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting ready to get into the eyes. Today we're going to be using fall colors, so like orange, red, well, like a burgundy-ish color. I think, I can't remember. Orange, because I did this like a few days ago, but it's definitely like orange, yellow, brown, definitely. But I'm taking matte paint pot and applying this to my lid. This is actually the first time me using this. I usually use the P. Louise base, and I actually liked it. It kind of works the same way as far as like the base. It did take the color very well. I'm applying it over my lid and a little bit under, so when I put the color under my eye, it'll pop. And it also works as a concealer, kind of, to get rid of any dark areas under my eyes. And I applied that with a small brush, but I'm going to go in with a beauty blender. And this beauty blender is from Sublime Cosmetics. So if you guys are interested, please drop a comment below, and I probably will be posting the link coming soon. The product hasn't dropped yet, so it's like a pre-launch. So if you guys are interested, just let me know and we can get you situated. But I'm just using the beauty blender to blend that out to make sure the edges are smooth. And yeah, then we're going to get into the colors. One thing with the paint pot, I felt like it was drying fast. Like I put it on there and I could barely like blend it out. It was kind of hard to blend it out, but I got it eventually. So I look a little ashy, but it's okay because the eyeshadow is going to go over top of that. No worries. So I'm taking one small dense brush from the Jeffree Star Morphe collection. And I am searching for my palette. I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics palette. I do not know the name, but it's falling apart as you just saw. And it's definitely one of my favorite palettes because it has a lot of different colors in there. So we're going to go in with my crease color, which will be like this smoky brown shade. Very, very pretty. And I'm just tapping it in to create the shape that I want to get for this look, and being very gentle, very light-handed, and just packing on this color. And I'm going to be doing this on both sides. Yep, a small dense brush so I can get my shape exactly how I want to. And just patting it in to get the color payoff. Because I want it to be kind of deep since I'm going to be cutting the crease. And the darker it is before you cut, the more your cut will pop out. Yep, so I'm just working on my shape, working on my shape. Okay, next I'm going in with this pretty orange shade, going right above that brown that I applied, and kind of like blending it out toward my brow. And I wanted this color to be the second to last color for this eye look. I believe I put one more color on top of that just to soften it up a little bit. But I'm going to be blending these two colors together. Yeah, I did add a darker, I mixed like black and the dark brown to darken up that crease even more. So once I cut it, you guys will be able to tell what the purpose was of that. But I'm just adding this orange on here. A really, really pretty orange. I feel like orange looks very good on my skin tone. Even like all the fall colors, just in general, it just looks so bomb to me. But I'm just going back in with that brown to make sure that those two shades are blended well. And yeah, guys, I will be adding another color soon, so just keep watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel too. So here I am going to clear off my lid with some Vaseline so I can prep it for a cut crease. So now I'm going in with my P. Louise base. I think this is in the shade number 1. And I'm going to take my Zoeva, I think it's, yeah, the 144 soft concealer brush is so bomb, y'all. Slay by Jay told me about this one. It's a really nice flat brush that you don't even have to worry about making it even flatter because it's that flat. And you just apply the product on the back of the hand to warm it up a little bit, and then you just go at your cut crease. Make sure that you take your time and pat the product in. Also, a tip to a cut crease, like I said, take your time. And when you carved out that piece earlier with the Vaseline, it's a guide, so definitely use that guide for your cut crease because it just allows both sides to be even as much as possible, and it'll allow your cut crease to be in a clean line. So that's why it's always good to cut before and not after, because I've cut after sometimes, like without doing the Vaseline trick, and I've had it where one side looks completely different than the other, and it's kind of irritating and hard to get it to match without going too far over your lid and losing that color that you put in the background, which will make the look, more dramatic if you have a nice transition between the dark and the cut crease. But if you go over that, it's going to be kind of harder to tell if you have a cut crease or not because you don't have that dark line. So this little tip. But as you guys can see, I'm just filling that in, patting that in, making sure that it's flat and that the lines in my eyelid are disappearing and that it's not super tacky. So when I apply the shadow, it'll go on smoothly and won't just stick in one specific spot. And it'll be super matte. So that's one thing that I love about the base. It allows everything to be super matte and clean. So, yep. So now I'm about to go in with my first shade, which would be the dark brown color, and I'm just tapping it in the corners of my eye to blend it in with the shadow color that was already there. I usually like to do the darker shade on the outside because it just makes everything pop, which a lot of people do usually. And since I already had that color there, it'll just make everything blend very well. And you can't even tell where the P. Louise base ended after I finished packing that shade on. And I love this brown. It's not quite like a chocolate brown. It's like a ashy, not even ashy. It's like a dark chocolate brown, not like a milk chocolate brown, if you get what I mean. But I love it. I love it. And now I'm going in with this light orange shade. It's not quite neon. It kind of reminds me of like pumpkin pie or like sweet potato pie. Sweet potato pie shade, and it's a matte powder, and I think it's so pretty. And I'm just patting this on top of my lid in the middle, so this will be my transition shade between the two colors that'll be on the end. And I'm gonna put a lighter color in the inside of my eye just to keep my eye bright, and making sure that I'm following the line of the cut crease and not going over that line of cut crease, because that can make that line disappear as well. But I'm just really packing in that color to allow the shadow to pop, and not really wiping it, but more like scraping the product and placing it or patting it in to my lid to get the most payoff as possible. And I'm making sure my cut crease line is nice and clean. And with doing this, sometimes you have to go over it more. Usually you have to go over it more than once, just to get it to the way that you like it, or the way that you want it to look. Because when you placing shadows on before and after, it can take over another shadow. So if you find that happening, just go back with that shadow that you want to pop more and just place it in and blend it in nicely. So I'm pretty sure you guys saw me shake my head a few seconds ago. I was trying to pick the color to go on the inside of my eye, and I think I had got ready to choose one that was close to the one that was in the middle. Like, I have a problem with that sometimes. Like, I'll pick a color that doesn't stand out against other colors, and so when I do a look, I'm like, oh, why is this not popping that much? It's because the colors that I chose are so much alike, and sometimes it's hard for them to stand out because of that. So I was like, well, let me get a yellow or something that's a little way lighter to be able to stand out from all the other shades, which I really like. So I'm taking this light yellow shade. It's like a soft yellow, and placing it in my inner corner area, in the front of my lid area. And now I'm just going back in with the orange that I had before and blending out any harsh lines and making sure that my transitions look good. And I'm going to also do my corners again as well. So stay tuned for that, guys. And if you're liking this video right now, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I definitely will have more videos going soon. I'm going to try to get some client videos up here soon as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Click that notification button and the bell so you can receive notifications whenever I drop new footage. And thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. So next, I don't even know what we're getting into. Let's see. I believe we are going to do glitter. Yes, so I bought this glitter from, I want to say Walmart. It's just a basic glitter. It's really fine, and it's really pretty. So I'm gonna take some duo glue. Usually I take glitter glue, but that was the first thing that was near me. But duo works just as good. I took some duo glue and put it on a brush and applied it to my lid in the areas in which I wanted the glitter to go, which was mainly the orange area. Sorry, I said brush, but I used the Q-tip. And you might want to be careful with the Q-tip though, because sometimes it can put the little hairs on there, the cotton fibers on the lid, and you don't want that. So you'd probably be off better using a brush or your fingers or directly using the wand. But because I use that for clients, I don't want to apply that directly to my face. But I put the glue on there and I used my finger to apply the glitter. It's a little messy, but I just used another Q-tip to spread it out and clean up that line so the glitter didn't clean up my cut crease line. Yeah, and you can always go back in with your cut crease shade color and darken up that crease again. You just have to be very careful and use a thin brush just so it won't be so harsh. And make sure you blend it out. Excuse me, I had a yarn, y'all. But I'm just going in and pressing the rest of that glitter in. I want to come a little bit over top of the yellow. Which it did. It did get a little bit on my lashes, but I'm going to just wipe that off in my face. And I'm going to just go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. And apply that glue and glitter over the orange shade. But this time I'm using a brush, which was a little bit better. But the only thing, if you're using glue on a brush, it may mess up your brush. So make sure whatever brush you use, you don't really favor it that much, you know, unless you're just going to continue to use it for glue. But it'll make the brush kind of hard. So I ended up throwing that brush away. But I did use the Q-tip to pick up the glitter and apply the glitter, which was a little bit easier than before and less messy than with my fingers. I was able to place it in the area that I wanted it the most. So, and I really love this glitter. I don't know if you guys can see it that much, but I see it, and it has like these like gold, I mean not gold, but like green specks in it. When you look at it up close in person. It's super, super pretty. And I like it to fade into both colors. So I placed a little bit into the brown. And I love it. So I believe next we're going to get into my lashes. Just showing you guys an up close shot of the makeup. And if you have any questions about achieving this look, please drop a comment below. But next I'm going in with some mascara to clean off that glitter that was on my lashes, and it'll allow my lashes to blend in with the false lashes that I'm going to put on. So now we're going to go in with my lashes, and I like to use tweezers. I know people use their hands, but I wear nails, so it's kind of, I feel like it's harder for me to use my hands than just to use tweezers because they're a little bit more precise, and I can grab and pull and everything without wiping my eyes or anything like that. But I do press in my lashes with my hands once I get them on, just so that they are together and not like broken up. So yeah, and these lashes are Cherry Blossom lashes in the style 914, I believe. I just got them from my local beauty supply store. I really love them. They're really cheap but good lashes. Like, they're so bomb. You'll see once I finish putting both of them on. And they're like flared, so they're shorter in the inside and they flare out longer into the outside, which I really like the style of. So I'm making sure I don't have any glue, excess glue. Yes, y'all, you see the lashes? Bomb. Yep, I was right. Cherry Blossom 914, bomb. So next we're going to get into foundation. I'm using NARS and MAC. NARS and Mako, M-A-C-A-O, and MAC and NC45. Going to blend those two together. It's a new blend that I'm trying, and I'm going to be using the Tarte face tape. I use it as concealer, like their shape tape, in the color Tan Deep Sand. It works basically the same way as the concealer does because it's the foundation, so it's full coverage. And I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick for my contour in the color Walnut. I love it because it's super creamy and applies on the skin very well. I'm going to be taking my Real Techniques brush set, the buffing brush, and the concealer brush. I guess it's considered a concealer brush, but and using those tools to blend that in. And I'm using this concealer brush by Morphe, the Jeffree Star collection. I think it's the JS23 brush, to apply my contour and highlight. Well, not my contour, but my highlight onto my face. And this is just the face tape and I believe Warm Honey by LA Girls, mixed together because the face tape is a little too yellow for me. So I added some of the Warm Honey to like cool it down a little bit because I feel like I'm more of a neutral tone. I do have a little bit of yellow undertone, but not like a whole lot. So I didn't want it to be too much. But I did want it to, pop, brighten up my face, but not too much. So now I'm going in with my foundations. I'm just pumping some onto the back of my hand and blending them together. Then I'm going to spread it out over my face with my fingers. And I'd like to make dots and stuff in the places left over. And then I'll apply my contour. I add a little bit more NARS Mako on the top of my forehead. And now I'm going in with Walnut and contouring my face and my nose. This is one of my favorite parts, y'all. I love doing the skin, contouring, highlighting, all of that. It's so fun just to see how bomb it'll look like afterward. It looks really good. So I like to spray my face one more time just so everything can blend out evenly and you won't have any dry spots immediately. So I like doing that, and I take my buffing brush and I just kind of like pat it in. More patting than swiping in certain areas just to get that full coverage. But my skin is pretty decent right now, so I just like to pat under my eye, but I kind of swipe down below because it doesn't really make a difference for me. Everything still turns out pretty flawless. I really love these brushes by Real Techniques. I've seen a lot of people using them before, and I was like, why is everybody using these brushes? Well, I guess it must mean something, and it definitely means something because I can tell the difference. In just the 5 brushes or 4 brushes that they provide in the set is crazy. Like, those really became the only brushes that I've really been using lately as far as face foundation. And they're really, really good. So you should check them out. Real Techniques face foundation brushes, really good. And they're only like $20 for the whole package, which you can't really beat for the quality and the quality of your makeup, like how it turns out after you finish working with those brushes. So I'm buffing out my contour, and I like to pat my under eyes after with a different brush. Yeah, that brush to get that flawless airbrush look. And I do my under eye last because you want your concealer and stuff to kind of set a little bit, especially under the eye, so you can get that full coverage look, which everybody loves. And now I'm going in and blending out that contour on my nose, kind of bringing it down and up into my eyebrow, and making sure that it's well blended. You don't want any dark lines on your nose. You want it to show, but you want it to be melted. You don't want it to be too harsh. So I'm just taking the other brush and blending out that line on the sides of my nose before it goes up under my eye. And I'm using this other small Techniques brush to blend that contour out. And I'm going to go under my eyes and make sure it goes all the way up to my waterline. And really patting that in and making sure that I don't see any lines or creases under my eye. Making sure that it's super duper smooth. And I like to go back in and highlight my nose so that line can be nice and clean and defined. And I love contouring the nose, okay? So bomb. It's crazy because before I used to do my eyebrows first, then I would do my eyes, then I would do my face. But now I found it like kind of easier to do my eyes, then my face, then my brows, because my brows would get messed up when I would apply my foundation. But I love this way now. It's so much easier and everything. I just prep my eyebrows usually before I do everything. But now I'm going in with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and setting under my eye. And then I'll bake a little bit. I found that setting before you bake will allow you not to really have any flashback or anything like that, or it won't like over dry you. So yeah, I just set it with the little brush in the lighter areas and my highlight areas, and then I go back and I bake a little bit because I love baking too. It really helps make those areas pop out. But you want to be careful depending on your skin type. You don't want to dry yourself out because the powder is to pull in oils, like it's to help absorb those oils on your face, and you want to make sure that you don't absorb too much because you're going to feel super duper dry. But this powder is really good. You can ask a lot of people. It's kind of like the holy grail, so I like this powder. It was worth the $30 that I paid for it. But now I'm going in with my Sublime Cosmetics Beauty Blender. Like I said before, stay tuned for this, guys. If you're interested, drop a comment below. They're coming into business soon. And it's a really bomb sponge. Super soft, super durable, and not expensive at all. And I like to use a brush or the tip of the Beauty Blender for the highlight on my nose, just so I can get like a straight line. I don't go too far down on my nose. I just do the bridge because that's the only part that I really want highlighted. And yeah, so now I'm getting ready to bronze my face. I'm going to be using the Morphe Glamour Bronze bronzer, and this shade is just about my color. I wouldn't mind going a little darker, but it's definitely noticeable since I put that other powder on. And I think it warmed up my face pretty well. And that brush that I have right there, I got during the Ipsy subscription, so I'm not exactly sure the name of it, but it's a really good bronzing brush. And now I'm going in with my Morphe eyebrow pencil. I have two, and I can't remember which one I used off the back, but I know I have Latte and Chocolate Mousse. And I believe this one is Chocolate Mousse. I think I just wanted to try Chocolate Mousse today because I hadn't used it before. And I'm just filling in these brows. Yeah, I usually use the Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade, but I've been trying to get into the pencils a little bit more. They do make a difference. I feel like with the pencils, they're a little bit more sharper to a certain extent. Like if you use the pomade and use a nice thin flat angled brush, you can still achieve this type of look, but I feel like it's a little bit easier with the pencil for those who don't who aren't like light-handed with their products, because the pomade can be kind of harsh if you use too much. But I definitely like the pencil. It made my brows really pretty and easy to fill in. So I just use that, and then I use a spoolie to blend out the harsh lines and brush them up. And for me, I sometimes have trouble with the tails of my brows. Like sometimes I find that they're not filled in all the way. So that's something I've been trying to work on. I believe I go back in, if you can't see like on that brow on the left side, I will probably go back in and fill it in just a little bit more after I finish cleaning up those brows. So I like to take a small brush, small thin brush, or I lied. Well, the concealer brush that I use is kind of thin at the tip, so I just literally use the tip of it. You want to use something kind of thin so you won't cover up your eyeshadow that you already put on, but you can always go back and touch it up, you know. But I like to take that brush and go directly under my brow, following the line that I created. And I'm using the concealer that I applied to my face. I just had some excess concealer, so I'm using the same concealer and going up under my eyes. I want you guys to remember that eyebrows are not twins. They're sisters. So they don't have to look exactly the same, but you want to try to get them as close as possible. And I'm going to just go over top and clean up my tails. And make sure that if you do like use a lighter concealer, that is not too light, because you don't want your eyebrows to look like they're floating. You want them to kind of like just melt into your skin, as far as like the top of the brow. Just me personally, because I like my brows to look natural. But yeah, that's just a little tip. And I like to bring it in so that they look even, or the same length, you can say. And you don't want to go past like the bone of your nose and the inside of your brow, and you don't want to go to past the corner of your eye for the outside of your brow, just so that they don't look too long or, you know, weird, because it shouldn't go past that point. And now I'm just taking my Real Technique brush that I used for my nose contour. It didn't really have much product on it, so I just use it to blend out that excess concealer. And the darker shade a little bit helped tone down the lightness of it, so it's not like super duper light. But I'm going back in with my pencil, like I said before. I'm working on the ends of my brow, making sure that they're filled in very well. Yes, bomb. And yeah, it's that simple, guys. Like, I feel like now with my eyebrows, it doesn't take me as long. Like, it was a time where my eyebrows used to take me like 10 minutes just to get them correct. Some days it worked, some days it didn't. But this way, I haven't had really any problems. Like, I just get straight to it and I'm done. So I love it. It's a good technique and a good way to do your brows. So now I'm going in with that bronzing brush and just bronzing a little bit more before I dust off the Laura Mercier setting powder. So I'm just dragging that powder off underneath of my eye. And I think I had something in my eye. Oh, you know what? No, my nose is running, guys. Gross, I know, but it's weird. Like, every time I do my makeup, my nose runs. And it's the same nostril, and it's just a little bit, nothing too crazy, but it always does that. Always does that. It's weird. But I'm just going in with my brush. This is a fair brush. I got this brush set in my Ipsy subscription as well. And it's a really nice brush. It came with face brushes, so like a buffing brush, a powder brush, you know, stuff like that. So I'm going back in with my bronzer because some of the Laura Mercier covered it up a little bit and giving more warmth to my face, because I felt like I looked a little bit light. But yeah, definitely warming up that face again. And I buffed out my shadow that I messed up when I did my brows. Just making sure that it's no harsh lines and that it looks nice and clean. So now I'm going in with my under eye shadow. It's just the orange that I used to blend out on my lid earlier. It's a really pretty orange, like burnt orange shade. I love it. And so I'm going in with that. Just pressing that in those areas where I put the MAC paint pot. And when you put your concealer and stuff too, it helps those products stick under your eye as well. At this point, I'm just going in and looking at my face and seeing the areas that I want to touch up. So as you've seen, I did do the inside of my eye again. And now I'm about to highlight my brow bone area. I swear this technique definitely makes a difference in your eye look. Even in your eyebrows, like, it just makes it look more like snatched, more defined, more popping, especially when the light hits it. So I love to use like a highlight powder or a glitter shadow or something to make that brow bone stick out. Definitely popping. Now I'm going in with a rose gold shadow that's from that palette. I got that palette from Ipsy as well. I'm sorry, I cannot remember the name of it. But it's just like a rose gold powder. And I'm using it as my highlight today. So I just put it on my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, my lip, top of my lip, and that's it. Something light, nothing too harsh. And next, I'm going in with my Milk by NYX, my milk pencil, which I will be using in my waterline. I really like this pencil, but I don't like the fact that it's only a little bit of product. Like, what you see is what you get, literally. So yeah, so I'm gonna apply it to my lashes as well as kind of like a mascara, just to make my lashes white down at the bottom. I really like the look. It's different. I haven't really seen too many people do white lashes. So yeah, bomb. And it's a big difference between white liner and black liner. Like, white liner really opens up your eyes, when black liner really like makes them like so like I forgot the word, like, is it sultry? Or like, you know, very mysterious and like sexy. And now I'm filling in my lips with the Sublime Cosmetics lip pencil. Another product that is coming soon, guys, so please stay tuned if you have any questions about it. It is just your typical dark brown shade. And I'm just lining up my lips. I do not overline my lips. I feel like my lips are beautiful and look just as good as they do lined regular. So I'm going in with an Anastasia Beverly Hills lip matte lippy, I guess you can say. But it's not really a gloss, it's a matte lipstick. And then I'm going to put a gloss on top of it. So it's really pretty. This one's like a nudish pink tone. Very pretty. And then I go over top of it with the Ofra lip gloss, which is another thing I had got from my Ipsy subscription. And I'm using my finger to apply that over top of that matte lip, just to give it a little pop. I love me a nude lip, y'all. I'm pretty sure a lot of people love a nude lip. I love a nude and a red, period. So it's very soft, very simple. Yeah, y'all. So we're almost done. I'm going in with that bronzer one more time, just to warm up my face. And I am going to set my face with the Maybelline Lasting Fix Matte Setting Spray. And I love this spray as well. And I'm going in with the Geller Spackle Mist as well. So yeah, y'all, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Love you all. See you guys next time. Peace.